No.
Yep, that's me.
Well, it was anyway. You see, self-taught developers like me, and maybe you, are more prone to making mistakes because we've never had someone to teach us, unlike those of you that went through university, which have had teachers and mentors to help guide you through the learning to code process. So in today's video, I want to talk about some of the dumb mistakes that developers make, and how you can avoid them. Let's get started. The first dumb mistake that we're going to cover in this video is not documenting your code. It may seem like a small thing, but not documenting your code can actually cause you some really big problems, especially later down the line. Even if you work on your own, like me, I'm a freelancer by the way, having documentation for your code that you can always come back to is extremely useful. If you've been away from your project for a few weeks or a few months, when you come back to it, it can feel like you're looking at someone else's code. Well, if you actually had some documentation that you'd written when you were writing the code, you would know. Luckily, there are so many tools out there that will help make documenting your code so much easier. The second dumb mistake that developers make is not automating things. Automation can save you so much time and it can prevent mistakes from happening. Now, I'm not saying that you need to automate everything right away, especially while you're still learning to code. But if there's a process that you're doing repeatedly and you already understand that process, why not take a look at automating it? The first thing that most developers tend to automate is deployment. If you're doing it manually, mistakes can happen and mistakes can be fatal. So for the hour that it takes to implement a simple CI/CD pipeline, it is 100% worth it, and it will pay dividends for years to come. I use Circle CI for my automated deployments, but you can also use GitHub Actions, as well as a variety of other tools that are out there. Automated deployments aside, you can also look at building your own automations because, well, you're a programmer, or you can look at tools like Zapier, which will help you to automate things in your life with no code necessary. But you're a programmer, so I think you're going to build it yourself, aren't you? Right? Next up, not continuously learning. The tech industry moves fast, and so should you. And I know it's really difficult because you've got work to do, you've got school, you've got friends, you've got family. I get it. Which is why scheduling in time to learn in advance can be really useful. Personally, I've set myself a challenge to learn one new thing every week for the whole of 2024. So in 52 weeks time, I should be so much better of a programmer than I already am. That sounds like I'm bragging. It's going to keep me on my toes and it's going to help me stay up to date with the trends and technologies that emerge throughout the next year. And finally, not testing your code. A lot of people talk about automating the test for your code, but in the beginning, you don't need to automate it. These tests can be as simple as running through the processes that you would complete as a normal user within your application. Essentially, the point of this is to run through the processes that the user is going to undertake while using your application so that you can try and find any bugs that might be in there. Just make sure that you test your functionalities before you actually deploy them. Don't be one of these developers that waits for their users to report the bugs. Because if people actually rely on the product that you've built, you're going to have some very angry users. Testing is a really small price to pay for keeping users happy. Well everybody, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. If you did, please do leave a like down below, tap the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. See ya.